Well, I'm going to show you how to double your gas mileage. And this is one part of it. What you're going to do is you're going to coast. So I'm going to show you about the shifter. So you're going to put it in reverse. And see when you put it in reverse from park, so you can go here, you can't get it out. So you got to hit the brake and then you push this button, it'll go to reverse. But it won't let you go back into park. But it will let you go into neutral. So when you're in neutral, without hitting a button here, you can put it in drive, or you can push it back in neutral. You can push it back all the way down. It won't go anywhere but drive. But you can put it in neutral, drive, neutral, drive. To get it in second, you have to push the button to do it. But then when you get it in second, you got to push the button again to do it again. But now to go back up to drive, you can push it up like that, but it will stop in neutral. Neutral, drive. That's where you want, right there. That's what you're gonna go up to like 60 miles an hour in drive, and you're gonna put it in neutral. You're gonna let it coast down to about 55, 50, and then you're gonna put it in drive and give it the gas. So here we go. We're gonna shut it off just for a second. Okay, so we're in drive now. So we're gonna take off. We're stopped. So we're gonna take off. So we're going to go about 40. Okay, so we're going to bring it up to 40. Here we go here. I'm going to bring it up to about 40. And then we're going to go down here. We're going to push it neutral. I'm going to let off of it. Now here it is 40. So we're going to let it drop down to about 30. So now I'm going to put it down, put it in drive. And I'm going to put it back in neutral. Okay. Now we're going to put it in drive. Put it in neutral. Let it coast down to about 30. All this time it's coasting and not using any gas. We have a stop sign up here, so we're going to have to stop. So it's still in neutral. Now we're going to put it in drive. Now I'm going to go left up here. Okay, here we go. We'll drop down to, we're going to bring it up to 40. Put it in neutral. Coast. All this time is coasting. I'm going to pull it down, put it in drive. bring it to 40 miles an hour, put it back into neutral. I'm going to let it coast. All this time we're coasting here, we're not spending any gas, very little. Oops. I'm going to give it the gas again. Put it back in neutral. Start coasting again. Pull it back into drive, give it the gas, put it back in neutral. Now it's about 30, put it back into drive. We're going to go left up here. The stop sign. I'm going to put it back into neutral. Turn the blinker light on. Now we're in neutral, so I'm going to put it down into drive. Remember, you can move this back and forth, but without pushing that button, you can't go. That's the only place you can go. So here we go, we're just about ready to go. So we'll accelerate back up to 40 miles an hour. Push it back into neutral. As you can see, the engine's only doing about 600-700 RPM a minute. Back into drive. We're going to go left here, so I'm going to put it back into neutral. And I'm going to put it in drive. Got a stop sign. That's basically all you do is you just, if you're going to go 40, you bring it up to 40 and drive, and then you put it in, slip it into neutral and let it coast, and it coasts down to 30, and then you put it back in drive and you accelerate to 40 again, just back and forth, up and down, up and down. So here we are, we're going down here. So it's about 40. I'll put it in neutral. See, it's neutral there, and we're still coasting quite a ways. Still haven't got to 30 yet. So we got a stop sign here. Put it back into drive. Now we're going to accelerate again up to 40. I'm going to put put it in neutral. And it's going to coast all this way. And this is where you save gas when you're coasting. So it's still coasting. Got a stop sign up here, so we'll have to stop. So I'll put it back into drive. So we got it in drive here, and we're ready to go. That's how you save gas when you're coasting half the time or more. You're going to get double the gas mileage. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So we're going to bring it up to 40 again. And there it goes. Put it back into neutral. And we're coasting. We've got a free ride here right now. All this way, we're not using any gas. So I'm going to put it, we're going to stop sign. That's how you do it. Just bring it up to 40, let it drop down to, let it coast to 30, back and forth, and that's how you save gas. Okay, we're going to show you how to do it here. It's the same thing. It's in park now. So we'll put it in reverse. And then neutral, and then drive. See, again, if you don't pull up on this lever, that's like a detent. You pull up on it, and then it will go in, it'll change gears. So you put it in reverse, and then neutral, and you don't pull up on this handle like you don't pull up like this. You'll be able to go neutral, neutral and drive, neutral and drive. I don't know if you can see it right there, there's a little red spot. Neutral, drive. So if you don't pull up on the handle, all it'll do is go to neutral and drive. Now if you raise up on the handle, now you can go to second, you can go to low. But you can go to drive, but you can't go back down to second. The only thing you can do is drive and neutral. Drive and neutral. So if you want to go to, if you're stopped, you want to go to reverse, you raise that handle up, put it in reverse, and you go to park. Okay, so you put it in reverse, neutral, and so drive. You take off, you go in, and you go about 40 miles an hour, and then you push it up into neutral, and you let off the gas, and it coasts. So you get down about 30 miles an hour, and you do the same thing. Put it back into drive and give it the gas. Same thing if you're doing 70. What you do, you'd go up to 70 and drive. You get to 70, you put it back into neutral. And let it drop down to maybe 55 or 60. Drop it down into drive and go back up to 70. Put it in neutral, let it coast. Back and forth, and you can double your gas. But as far as the shifter, you just don't want to, like on the car, you don't want to hit that detent and put it in reverse. You got to leave it where it's at and make sure that you push it back and forth, and it won't go any further. It won't go in. You go to neutral, it will only go to neutral. You pull it in drive, it'll only go to drive. But if you hit that detent, it'll let you go to reverse. And if you ever do that and the car starts slowing down pretty quick, you got to make sure you take it out, reverse, and put it back into neutral. So another thing, if you you can maybe put something over your, like on the car, you put a little detent, put a cup over it or something, and make sure you can't hit that detent. And then another thing on the car, you could, instead of putting your hand on top of it where the detent is at, you could shift it down lower, and that way you wouldn't have a chance to put it in reverse and bypass the detent. So good luck to you. Hopefully, if you got a lot of money, you probably won't want to do this. But if you're scraping your pennies and so let's say for instance you got to go somewhere every month or whatever, and let's say your gas bill is $200, you can drop it down to maybe $100. So it'll save you some money. And me, I've done this over and over for years and years, and I've never had a transmission problem. I was a transmission mechanic for 30 years, and I've never have had any transmission problem with my transmission by doing this. So a lot of people say, well, you'll run the transmission, but that's not true. So it's up to you. If you want to save some money, here it is. All for you. There is one more thing. I'm going to tell you how your brakes work. See, when your engine is idling, you have a booster in there, a vacuum booster, and so therefore when it's idling, your brakes will work and work and work because your engine is producing vacuum. But if your engine should shut off, let's say you're driving down the road and your engine isn't in very good shape and it's dying on you, this method of saving gas is dangerous, because what you got to do when your engine dies, let's say you're going down the road and your engine dies, let's say you put it in neutral and you're coasting and the engine dies, when it dies and your engine isn't producing vacuum anymore, so your brakes have enough vacuum to stop you a couple times. So let's say you're going down the road and your engine, you put it neutral and the engine dies. Well, you could stop it a couple times, but if you try to go without restarting it, you'll run out of brakes. You'll be able to stop it, but you won't have the power brake units won't work because your engine isn't producing vacuum. So if your engine isn't, let's say if your engine, if you let it idle for a while or it dies on you, you need to get it fixed before you do this, because your engine has to be idling for this to work. That way you'll be able to stop and have control of your car. So good luck to you. Bye-bye. See, another thing is, if you're trying to go up a hill, like a pass or anything like 4, 5, 6% grade, this won't work for you very well. But now coming down, it'll work for you really good. So when you go and put it in neutral and back and forth, but make sure that you know that you can always, if it starts going too fast, just pull it down into drive again, and that'll your engine will help you slow down if that's necessary. So where it really works at is like flat ground, maybe 2 or 3% around town, but up hills, it's not going to help you much. It's going to make you, it doesn't work. But if you're around town, up and down, maybe 2 or 3, 4, 5, 3 or 4 degrees, short inclines and down and up and down, it'll work for you really good. And so basically the way it does is you, let's say like you go to 70, you put it in neutral and you let it drop back. So all the time you're in neutral, and it's coasting, you got a free ride. And so it'll about double your gas mileage. So here we go.